The loudest voice doesn't always take the lead. It's often the calm, focused presence in the room, the one who says little but moves with intent, who ends up in control. In a world that never stops talking, there is something powerful about the person who knows when to stay quiet. They aren't avoiding the spotlight. They are sharpening their edge, watching and calculating, holding their fire until it truly counts. This isn't weakness, it's real strength. In today's world, that kind of control is rare. We've been conditioned to think we need to speak up, prove ourselves, and show everything we're working on. However, the truth is that the more you explain, the more you lose your edge. The more noise you make, the easier it is to miss the bigger picture. There's a reason the Stoics trained themselves to stay composed and to act only when the time was right. Not just to appear wise, but to win where others fell apart. That's what we are diving into today. The strategy of silence. Not silence as avoidance, but silence as strength and power. The ultimate move in a noisy world obsessed with attention. If this resonates with you, stick around, because what you'll take from this isn't just motivation. It's a new way of showing up in the world. If you appreciate content that cuts through the fluff and helps you build real strength from the inside out, please do me a simple favor and tap that subscribe button. It lets me know this message is reaching those who truly need it. Have you noticed that the strongest presence in a room is rarely the loudest voice? It's often the one who listens, weighs their words, and waits patiently. When they do speak, everyone leans in. It's not magic or mystery, it's mastery. Mastery of emotion, impulse, and energy. In a time when many are desperate to be heard, the one who chooses not to speak too soon becomes magnetic. They draw attention not by reaching for it, but by deserving it. Silence signals control, not just over the room, but over oneself. That kind of control is rare. It tells people that this person doesn't need to dominate the space because they already dominate themselves. Socrates once said, "The beginning of wisdom is the definition of terms," but you can't define anything clearly, especially yourself, if your thoughts are constantly spilling out before they are fully formed. A person who restrains their words isn't hiding. They are thinking and sharpening their ideas. Most people confuse noise for value, believing that if they talk more, they'll be perceived as smarter, stronger, or more important. However, noise rarely builds anything. It only fills the space where intention could have thrived. Power doesn't come from how much you say. It comes from the strength of what you choose not to say. When you stop reacting out of ego, stop explaining out of fear, and stop justifying just to be accepted, you stop leaking your energy. What happens in that? Silence? You create space, not just around you, but within you. That space becomes a forge, a place where your thoughts get refined, your presence grows sharper, and your movements carry more weight. Carl Jung simply stated, "Your vision will become clear only when you look into your heart." Who looks outside dreams. Who looks inside awakens. Silence is the door to that awakening. It's where you start separating your true self from the performative version that's always trying to be liked, noticed, or validated. We leak so much of our strength through unnecessary speech. Every time you speak, just to fill silence, to be included, or to feel important, you're spending energy that could be invested in action. Worse, you might give away your plans before they've taken shape, inflating them with attention before they've even had time to breathe. When the time comes to act, the motivation may already be gone. Plato said, "Wise men speak because they have something to say, fools because they have to say something." It's a sharp line, but there's truth in it. When you operate from a place of internal security, you don't feel the need to explain every move or narrate every goal. You let your results do the talking. You let your progress, slow, focused, and undeniable, build the story for you. There's something deeply empowering about moving in silence. You stop chasing applause and start pursuing depth. You learn to sit with your ideas before turning them into announcements. You wait for your instincts to confirm what your ego might have tried to declare prematurely. When you finally act, it's not about proving anything. It's just who you are now. No fanfare, no big speeches, just clean, strong, deliberate action. And here's the beautiful part. When people finally notice, you don't need to say, "I told you so." You don't even need to look back. You've already moved on to the next endeavor. That's how powerful silence becomes when you master it. It gives you momentum that isn't dependent on anyone's reaction. Aristotle once said, "Knowing yourself is the beginning of all wisdom." But that kind of knowing doesn't happen in noise. It happens in stillness, in reflection, and in moments where, and most importantly about yourself. That's when you stop being reactive. You become strategic. You stop saying, "Here's what I'm going to do," and start asking, "What actually needs to be done?" And you do it quietly and fully, without wasting words. When you talk about a goal, your brain gives you a hit of satisfaction, as if you've already accomplished it. The applause comes early. The reward feels real. Because you've already tasted the praise, the hunger to actually follow through starts to fade. That fire, that edge, it dims. Not because you can't do it, but because you already felt like you did. That's a trap more people fall into than they realize. Good intentions, loud announcements, but very little to show for it later. So instead of announcing your next move, build it in silence. Let your efforts speak before your voice ever does. When you speak, make it count. Speak only when it adds something real, something strong, something necessary. Otherwise, keep your focus locked in and your mouth closed. That silence, that's not weakness. That's your strategy. That's your advantage. Think of a master chess player. They don't rush, they don't get emotional, and they don't try to show off. They study the board, read the room, and calculate the patterns. They wait, and then with one quiet, precise move, they flip the game. Not because they moved first, but because they moved right. That's what silence gives you. Space to think clearly, space to move wisely. This kind of discipline isn't passive. It's actually the most active mindset you can carry. It takes strength to hold your ideas close, to work without clapping for yourself, and to build quietly while the world watches someone else. Silence isn't sitting back. It's being deeply involved, but with a kind of energy that doesn't leak. It's like aiming before firing, instead of shooting wildly and hoping something lands. Carl Jung once said, "Who looks outside dreams, who looks inside awakens." You can't build anything meaningful if your energy is always pointed outward, toward other people's opinions, toward empty praise, toward the need to be seen. Silence is the turn inward. It's where you stop reacting and start creating, where you stop proving and start building. When you don't feel the need to broadcast every thought or declare every intention, you take back control. Your focus becomes sharper, your decisions become more intentional, and you move with purpose instead of impulse. When the results finally arrive, they're undeniable because they weren't just talked about, they were earned. Plato believed that the measure of a man is what he does with she. Power, and true power, begins with self-control. That means having control, not just over what you do, but over what you say, what you reveal, and how much of yourself you give away before the work is done. Every time you speak, you give people a piece of your inner world, so why not wait until it's something worth handing over? This isn't about secrecy or paranoia. It's about energy, focus, and direction. The quiet builder will always outlast the noisy dreamer because, while one is talking, the other is stacking bricks. While one is gathering likes, the other is gathering leverage. Silence keeps your goals clean, your vision tight, and your mind free of clutter that comes with over-explaining or oversharing. You protect the seed while it's growing, and when it blooms, as the thing you built starts to show, it doesn't need an introduction. People feel the weight of it. They know something serious has happened, and they'll look back and realize you never even said a word. That's what makes silence powerful. It's the discipline to move without noise, to aim without warning, to build without applause, and to win without needing to shout about it. Because real power never begs to be noticed. It just arrives and changes everything. The greatest innovators, leaders, athletes, and creators all share something that isn't always obvious at first glance. They weren't built in the spotlight. They weren't shaped by applause, likes, or headlines. They were forged in silence, in the quiet hours behind the scenes, while the world watched someone else. They were building, practicing, refining, not waiting for permission, just preparing for the moment their opportunity would come. When it did, they didn't flinch, panic, or need to catch up. They had already done the work long before anyone was paying attention. But here's the thing most people miss. The real noise doesn't always come from the outside. It's not just the opinions, distractions, or competition. It's the voice inside your own head, the one that never seems to stop. The inner critic that questions every step, the doubter that whispers, "What if you fail?" The overthinker that finds 1,000 reasons to wait, to delay, to hold back. That's the voice that derails more potential than any outside obstacle ever could. Carl Jung once wrote, "Until you make the unconscious conscious, it will direct your life, and you will call it fate." And that's the danger of inner noise. It feels like truth. It dresses up as logic, caution, and being smart. But really, it's fear in disguise. It's the part of you that's afraid of what happens if you. It doesn't need approval, it just moves. Silence isn't just about holding your tongue in public. It's about learning to stop debating with yourself in private. It's about refusing to be pulled into every mental spiral that starts with "what if?" Because when your mind is crowded with that kind of noise, your vision gets cloudy. You miss the signs and the moments that were meant for you. The mind becomes so busy trying to keep up with imagined problems that it can't see the real solutions right in front of you, quiet, subtle, and waiting. When you start to silence that inner chaos, something powerful happens. You begin to hear what was buried beneath it all, your intuitive voice, your gut instinct. It's the part of you that knows what needs to be done. When you notice patterns and catch little things others ignore, you seize opportunities that seem invisible to a noisy mind. You see connections between things that on the surface don't look related, but deep down they are. Plato once said, "The first and greatest victory is to conquer yourself." And that's exactly what silence helps you do. It clears the path to self-awareness, stripping away distractions, long enough for you to actually hear yourself. Not the version shaped by anxiety or pressure, but the one that exists beneath all of that. The version that is calm, focused, and clear. You start to realize that discipline isn't just about external action. It's also about internal alignment. It's about knowing when to challenge a thought and when to let it pass. About recognizing when your mind is helping you and when it's holding you hostage. The strength to sit in silence without reaching for a screen, but distraction or a quick fix, that's real mental toughness. Because that silence is where growth begins. It's where clarity happens and where strategy gets refined. Socrates believed that an unexamined life is not worth living, but you can't examine anything if you're always talking over yourself. You need space, stillness, and a break in the noise to actually see. The truth is, the deeper your silence, the stronger your insight, because clarity isn't loud. Wisdom doesn't show.